One thing about the present moment that I can't shake, that I keep coming back to, is the reality. What's going on is being done with the complicity of women. The brutal savagery and misogyny that's happening is with the complicity of women. And I believe this, the way they're able to get such complicity is by selecting women with very primitive personalities to match psychopathic men, meaning the kind of women who are more than happy to cling to a brutal male, finding power in that, and believe that destroying other women gives them power when it never does. It's always a trick. And the reason there's so many women with that personality is throughout much of human history, it was true. Before liberalism, before the Enlightenment, if brutal males are destroying shit, it is your survival benefit to help them and identify with them and help them do this, right? But in the modern society, it's literally a lose. It's like a lot of things, like our instinct versus reality in the modern world. For much of our evolution, if you had a lot of sugar and fat, it was a good idea to eat a lot of it. Now it is not a good idea, even though your instincts are still to overeat these foods because they're seasonal. Because whenever there's fat and sugar in the diet, it means it's summer, about to be fall and winter, and the animals are fat from grass, and the trees are making fruit. So it makes sense because you're not going to have it soon. Um, it no longer makes sense, and it just gives you diabetes and kills you and makes you morbidly obese, right? Because it's around all year. That's a lot like many females who have an algorithm hitch your wagon to the most brutal, violent male because that's the only way you can survive and be treated better than the women they're going to destroy. This logic does not work in a world that invented liberalism and feminism. You're literally agreeing to give up your rights. Because in the kind of human societies where that was true, there was no such thing as equal rights for women. They were something like property for men to decide. And so the women who were helpful and identified most with the men likely did the best, likely got abused the less and least, and likely their children survived better than the ones who they were teaming up with them to destroy, right? In the modern world, it is the dumbest, stupidest thing for a woman to think, I'm going to help men destroy another woman, so I win. Because what you're actually going to end up doing is destroying the concept of feminism and equality of females, and that will come back to you. Any transient benefits you get from this will be down the line of your descendants actually come back to ruin them when you normalize brutality and women no longer have rights, right? And this is why it's so easy for men like this to get helpers because there's an ancestral algorithm in females. If violent men are fucking things up, if I can become him, merge with him, and help him, my children live. And it's like, yeah, that worked for a millennia. It doesn't work now because what you're helping them do is destroy the society that lets you get educated, gives you rights. Um, if a man treats you bad, like property, you can take him to court. You're giving all that up, but inside in their brain, it feels like the right thing to do. And this is why it's so easy for these thugs to do everything they're doing. So this is why you have white MAGA women helping them take women's rights, sluts who want abortions, single mothers who are Mexican. Like what's going on in their brain is if I help the winning males, my kids will get more food. They will do better. And it was true for much of human history. It's just not true now. You're actually making a world where your children and your daughters will do worse, even if right now it feels good and the right thing to do. You also see this with minority women too. It's not, this is the white women, but no, it's all women. All women have this residual module. Whenever violent males are destroying shit, I need to become the men. And if I help them, my kids win, even if they're lesbian and don't have kids. Some algorithm in their brain is like, if I join the abusive men targeting and destroying women, I'll win, right? And it's minority women too. They want you to think this is a white woman thing, like they want you to think bigotry is a white people thing. This is a complete lie, and they promote this lie to trick you into it all over again, right? Um, so how does this work with minority women, right? So right now, for example, the Epstein files. I fully believe a lot of minority people in the CIA were helping this. The CIA is on record saying they started recruiting diverse people of ethnic backgrounds. I think what happened with Epstein was absolutely a result of a few crazy Zionist nationalists who are very wealthy, a few psychopaths, and a disproportionately minority CIA that wanted to literally rape white girls. I believe that. I know because they did it to me. And they're pretending what they did to me was race justice, right? So I think that's how they got it kicked off, by coming to minority people who are now working for the CIA, in context, the weird Zionist white supremacists. So you see the schizophrenia, the fucking schizophrenia. These people are literally in the email saying they want to make a white breeding program. But somehow a large group of minority and ethnically diverse recruits in the CIA thought it was a good idea to get white girls for them for justice. I'm telling you, I know that happened. I know they could not have pulled this off without doing that first, recruiting a lot of people in the CIA who literally hate white people and want to destroy them. And they were stratified and selected for that. I believe this. But I'm going to show you, like, this is what I mean. A lot of minority women, like, why should I care? They deserve it. My kids will do better. And it's like, that's just literally not true. First of all, it is not justice for the poorest people in Russia and Florida to be raped. That's just not real life. Okay. And two, the kind of people who would do that will do it to you. What does this mean? Like, so first of all, when it comes to like sex slavery, light complexion communities were always targeted for this. Way before white supremacy, way before white culture could affect people, right? The North African slave traders would literally write down, "We're going to hit these white communities because their light skin is attractive to us." They literally, there's like documents from these people describing how their noses look and how they're pale. I made a whole ass video how sexually dimorphic skin color is why this is the case, why light complexion communities are targeted for sex slavery and dark complexion communities work slavery. Now, the case of Southern slavery is a great example. Even though they were targeted for work slavery, simply because darker complexion people, when you're a slaver, you're thinking work and not sex, whereas light complexion communities conquered, you're thinking sex and not work. Even though dark complexion communities and women were targeted for work slavery, they were subjected to mass rape too. This goes to show what I mean. Like when you set up an example, like it's okay to conquer people, it always comes back to you being conquered too in the same way. So, what does it mean? What does that mean that if you're an abusive, conquering, psychopathic group with no regard for humans, and you have one that's a lighter complexion than you and one that's a darker complexion than you, all that means is when you're targeting those people for abuse, the darker one you're first going to think work, and the lighter one you're going to think sex. But that doesn't mean the lighter one's not going to also be targeted for work and the darker one not going to target for sex. It just means that's as an abusive monster, that's going to be your first thought. If I want sex slaves, I'm going to hit up Europe. If I want work slaves, I'm going to hit Africa. That's all it means, right? It doesn't mean you're not going to be subjected to those abuses too. So when you see what these people did, where they targeted light complexion people for sex slavery, you're telling yourself this is justice when it's really not. It's just abusive people doing what they've always done. It's what the North African slave traders did. It's what a lot of groups in history did. No relevance to any justice nonsense. It's just literally true abusive men. If they're going to get sex slaves, they prefer light people. That's all. because of a biological fact. Lighter skin is a sign of female, and so all things equal, you'd prefer your slaves to be lighter skin if they're going to be sex slaves, right? But like I said, when you go with this, if they can successfully brainwash you into this is happening because justice, these white people have to pay for enslaving us in work slavery, it's like you're actually your own history is a great example of how bullshit this is. Like the slave owners raped and enslaved the black women too. It's just that's not why they were going there. So why are you helping people who want to subjugate other people thinking they're going to be kind to you? All that tells me is eventually they'll also put white slaves to work and they'll rape you too. Like I don't get it. Like how do you fall for this shit? There nobody rapes little girls for justice. That's not a real thing. And there's an extensive human history of abusive people of all groups, abusive men of all groups targeting light complected communities for rape because of the fact if you're going to go and target sex slaves, you'd prefer a lighter one simply because a biological fact lighter skin is more common in females, darker skin is more common in males. And um, the ideal aesthetics would be a darker skin for a male and a lighter skin for a female. So if you're going to target a bunch of female sex slaves, you're going to hit light populations like Ukraine and Russia. But like just the stupid I know there's a lot of people who think this is justice that these white girls were raped because my ancestors were abused, and it's like how are they conning you? Like how do you not see through this? Like this is why the Christianity preaches not to be spiteful. Spite is the most destructive emotion. It makes you irrational, it makes you make stupid decisions, it makes you destroy societies and yourself ultimately. Going on a lot of these people who orbit the CIA was deliberately selected by these weird Kabbalah demons to just be full of spite, be full of hate, and make really dumb decisions and believe the stupidest shit, right? So they literally believe white girls being raped is justice. How stupid. Like, this is why Christianity preaches not to be spiteful. It's not because it's the right thing to do, it's because you're a dumb fuck when you're full of spite. And you'll burn your own house down in some dumb emotion, or you'll believe the stupidest shit. That, like, fascism is motivated by spite. All fascism comes down to spite. This is why Christianity is like, don't be spiteful. All that shit about turning the other cheek, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. All these sayings, because spite makes you so dumb and so easy to do bad decisions. And why do you think they preach to the left, savor your spite? It's the only way you'll stay safe. It's because it's not a lie. That's how they turn you into a slave. That's how they make a fascist. That's how they make you believe dumb shit, spite. Spite is intrinsically a white hot coal of emotions where you can believe anything and do the dumbest shit. And I believe this. A big way they got here was by making the CIA full of a lot of minorities who are full of spite and hate, and they're stupid and they make stupid decisions. And they literally help these people enslave white girls thinking it's justice. You know what? It's always going to come back down to you. This is like the lesson of fascism. If I'm not a fascist, I'm getting revenge and just no, you're a fascist. You're attributing power to a weak target in white hot coal hate from not like once you're in an emotional hate state, you're no longer in a logic state. This is exactly how they did the Germans. This is how they're doing the magazines, how they're doing you. It doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. All you're going to say is a standard that you can be attacked too. And the case of American slavery is a perfect example of this. Even though they were targeted for work slavery, because it didn't immediately think sex slavery, they were still turned into sex slaves, right? All that fucking meant is of the female slaves, the fucking rapist probably went for the lighter skinned women first. You're not helping yourself. I don't get it. Like when you set examples, these things are acceptable, it's going to come down to you. Like, why do you think so many African Americans are light skinned relative to their European ancestry? Probably because the slave owners were selecting lighter skinned women to rape preferentially. You know, there's a diversity of skin colors in Africa. It would explain why, when you look at average Africans and African Americans, they're much lighter complexioned. Not all of that is from European ancestry. A lot of it is because every fucking slave owner rapist prefers lighter women to rape simply because lighter skin is a marker of being female. And that's why you see like populations being subjugated. White populations, sex slavery is the first thing they think. Dark populations, work slavery. But that like, oh, so I don't have to care about like no. No, if your daughter's lighter skin, when shit gets worse, they'll pick her. That's all that means. Like, what's wrong with you? It's just, well, I'm not going to be raped first. There'll be someone, a girl lighter than me. It's like, you don't see how this is going to come back to you. Like, this is why they teach them not hold on to spite. This is why they teach them stupid shit. The people, fucking Christians knew spite makes you a fucking moron. You'll end up with two burned houses and following us, the Antichrist, who is really destroying you if you savor your spite. It doesn't make any sense. It's fucking ridiculous. Spite turns off your logic so you can make good decisions, right? And I believe that how we got here was by filling the CIA with a lot of really hateful, spiteful weirdos who think raping pale-skinned people is justice, and that's how they were able to get away with it extensively, right? Which is ridiculous because when you encourage those people, they will come back to you eventually, right? And then you see, I believe this. I believe a lot of these people orbiting the CIA are nutbags who are hateful, brainwashed into a little cult, and they think they have to kill the white people, the MAGAs, the boers, everybody to make peace. And it's so self evidently not true. We have a blueprint, West Germany. When these people want to, they can stabilize and build a nation. When you look at Africa and you look at America, what's the common denominator? Elon Musk's family. What a weird coincidence. Wherever Elon Musk goes, suddenly insane race antagonism pops up, and the answer becomes you have to kill everybody with his buddy Peter Thiel. What a weird coincidence when we actually have a totally legit blueprint to build a nation up after intense nationalism, West Germany. And all it involved was infusing wealth and opportunity and denazifying the place, meaning criminalize anybody who was a leader, and from there on out punish and criminalize any displays of Nazi sympathy. And within a generation, they're fucking the most liberal country. Why are they telling you the fucking demon Musk who first shit on Africa, his family? You know, apartheid was not always the Boers. The Boers are ethnically diverse. They're really not even all white. Like, you know how African Americans are part Euro? Boers are part African. They're an ancestral minority there. And apartheid was in the 20th century. Right? And you know who did that? These transplants, Elon Musk. Elon Musk ain't a Boer. His family are global Satanist predators who came to South Africa and convinced them to make apartheid. I what a fucking coincidence. After they successfully turned Africa to rubble and white hot hatred between everybody, it's actually easier for them to exploit. It's to get there. This is like, do not see the plan. This is how it worked. Demon Musk's family, Errol Musk goes there. You have to make apartheid. It's necessary because you're white and special. All right, so they build apartheid. The South Africans are being oppressed, the natives. And this allows them to start exploiting and gain power. And then once they have enough, what do they say? You have to get these Boers. These Boers are attacking you. They hate you. And then they demolish the society. And now you're in the best position of all because you successfully subverted a society that really wasn't that fucked up before. It's now rubble. And you're paying both sides back and forth. You tell the Boers they're after you, and they are. And then you tell the other side, the Africans are after you, and they are. And nothing gets built, everything's destroyed, and you could do whatever the fuck you want. Do you not see this game plan yet? And then you send your demon spring Elon Musk to America, and look at what America is about now. It looks like South Africa. It looks like South Africa. Everything's being destroyed, and groups are being pitted against each other. They're going to the minorities and saying the whites are against you. Then they go to the whites and say the minorities are against you. The state of South Africa is the result Errol Musk and the Illuminati demons. This is their goal. They want to destroy all society, just have people punching each other forever. But in order for them to get to this present state of South Africa, they had to first go to the whites and say, you need to make apartheid. So this would allow them to gain a lot of power through the systematic exploitation. And then they could do their next stage, which is really where they wanted to go all along. Destroy everything and just be in a state of paranoia with each other. And when that's the case, and now they gain power through that, they could just keep that shit up forever. People over a bunch of broken down shit, punching each other, and the other side saying, I can't build anything because of you. You have the African natives saying, we can't get anything done because of the Boers, and the Boers saying, we can't get anything done because of the natives who hate the Boers. And Elon Musk, Errol Musk are smiling. And when you look at America, you're looking what they did there already. Your dumb fucking belief we have to kill all the whites to make it better. No, that's exactly some shit Errol Musk planted in South Africa's head. It was never the Boers who did that. And it's not the Boers today why it's like this. We know how to fucking denazify and make a liberal society. What you see in South Africa and all of Africa is the result of the Illuminati. These demons like Errol Musk. Their end point is a pile of rubble with two sides punching each other, blaming each other why they can't build shit. It doesn't have to be that way at all. And the Boers are an ethnic minority who is there so long. They're not even Dutch or English anymore. Like they're very, very mixed. I don't say very. They're extensively mixed population. They're a new ethnic group there. They didn't make up apartheid. Errol Musk made it up. And their whole goal was getting these fucking people to do this so they could grow super fucking wealthy off of the exploitation and destroy the whole thing and have them punching each other forever. And you come to me and say the only answer is to kill the whites and kill the MAGAs because they're going to hate you forever. You're so fucking stupid. That's what they're telling the whites too. You don't see you don't think it's coincidental that what you see in South Africa after this piece of ugly shit with fucking satanic child raping parents, literally Elon Musk's niece is also his sister. Come here in a few fucking years of Elon being here, America's starting to look like South Africa. When I say look like South Africa, I mean things breaking down and two sides that cannot collaborate, believing the other did it. You think that's coincidence? America didn't look like that before. Racial antagonism was dropping and dropping and dropping, and we were building. And now you see this demon come here after his family came to South Africa in the early 20th century, and it's looking the same way. As systems are breaking down, people don't even care, and they're too busy being paranoid of the other. And the other side deeply believes if we get rid of these minorities and blacks and everything, we'll win. Just like the other side deeply believes if we fucking kill all these whites, we can win. And it's a fucking wait, can't you wake up? You will never win that way. And this is exactly why Christianity preaches do not be spiteful. It's not because they're weak, it's because they're smart. A lot of tradition is what works. I don't know who the fuck told you spite is a productive emotion, but it's literally the most destructive emotion. It is never useful. Anyone who does anything good was not motivated by spite. If they say so, they're lying to you. They were motivated by wanting to do better. That is what motivates people to do better. Motivated by destroying someone else will always destroy you. Why? Because if your only concern is destroying someone, then you will be motivated to destroy. If your concern is doing better, building up, not focusing on destroying something else, then you can actually do. I didn't fix my life because I wanted to destroy my enemies. I fixed my life because I wanted to do better. I wanted to make a better world. Find me one person who was only motivated by destroying shit who built anything. That's why they teach you to be spiteful. That's why they teach you to savor your hate. Because that's how you get people like South Africa and now America. If all you're focused on is destroying shit and not collaborating, you'll have your wish. That's what's gonna happen. And that's the real reason religions teach against that. Because it's an instinct we have that is so stupid and so easy to leverage by exploiters to trick you. Yeah, so like I said, we're already in the state of South Africa because of Elon Musk and his friends, right? And this is their end goal, a pile of rubble where everyone's paranoid of the other and blaming the other why it's like this while they laugh and just plunder and plunder and plunder. And yeah, it's not justice to rape white girls. It's not justice to just savor destroying your enemies. These are all tricks to turn you into a fool. It's easy to manipulate. And the state of present South Africa is always what they wanted. Apartheid was a tool to get there, which is a bunch of people so fucking mind fucked and paranoid and unable to collaborate that they can do whatever the fuck they want there.